So how do you transition out of rapport building stage into money making stage, right? Like, you don't want to be the person that builds rapport forever, but you also don't want to be so direct and so like ready for the jugular conversation that it's a turn off.
Yes.
So how do we find that middle point?
Yeah.
Today we're 7-figure earners. We've actually built $1 million organization all from Facebook without doing any home meetings. But we do love to teach like cutting edge social media.
So the first thing is always check out someone's profile. Do your due diligence to see what they got goings on.
Exactly.
Because that's going to help you with transitioning.
Well, what happens is this: if you know nothing about them going into the conversation, do you see how that would take so much longer to quote unquote build rapport, because you're asking questions that you could easily know answers to if you just hack into their social media profile and you take just a couple of minutes and you fast forward the rapport building side of things. You want to build rapport on purpose.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about, you know how people ask you all the time, and I get the same question also, but like, should I lead with the product? Should I lead with the business? Like, what should I do?
Easy.
Should I do both?
Easy.
Let us handle that, because that's going to make a difference on the whole transition piece before we get into the transition piece.
So a couple points. Number one, what are you excited about? If you're most excited about your products, like I had a guy hit me up today, he was so excited about the product, so he led with the product and he was effective.
Yeah.
Now, for the individual that is excited about the business, I think that's what they should lead with, but I would like to say it also, in my opinion, depends on who you're talking to.
Right.
If I'm talking to a business owner, to me, it's obvious that I would lead with the business because they're a business-minded person. For someone like my mom, I wouldn't approach her with the business.
Right.
I would approach her with the product. But can't someone always fall in love with the product and then upgrade to promote the business? Yes. So I think it depends on who you're talking to, and I think it depends on what you're excited about.
And if you're not very comfortable with the whole transitioning and the whole prospecting, you start with one conversation. Once you anchor it, now you're comfortable, now you're okay that not everybody's going to get started. Like if you talk to 10 people and 3 people are interested and you're going to put those 3 people in a group or invite them to a meeting, those are great numbers, and then you improve upon the ratio. And once you have that dialed in, then you go into the business conversation or vice versa, to the point where you now are in a state of proficiency where you can conversate with someone and you can identify which conversation fits them best.
Yeah,
right?
when you're
how do we transition into talking business?
Well,
like,
I think
let's get specific.
Yeah, well, I think if for instance you're talking about work, and they're like, dude, work sucks right now. Like, I'm working overtime. I got more month than money. Like, you know that's a person that you could say, well, you know, just so you know, I don't know if you know what I do, but just so you know, we actually have a very successful business that we're a part of. So some people might say, well, John, I'm not making the kind of money you guys are making, or I'm not achieving success in my business yet. You don't have to talk about your success.
Right.
You could talk about your business partners, your mentors, the people you work with, the company. It doesn't have to be your success. It's all about how you want to transition.
Yeah.
And again, this might be someone that specifically said how work isn't going well. You know your product or service or your business, and you should, by having that conversation, have an idea of what direction to take the conversation in.
So here's what this is what we call nonchalant mention. All right, nonchalant mention, because you want to test the waters. Like, you don't want to be so excited and kind of like overwhelm them and fire hose them. So let us pay attention to the signs so we don't look foolish, right?
But like, I'll give you an example. Here's a nonchalant. I was talking to my buddy that's in mortgages. Hey Chuck, how are things? How's business these days? Oh, we're killing it, making more money I've ever made. I'm like, yeah, I hear that. And, you know, I want to pounce on him and just be like, oh, you think you're making money? Look how much money I'm making. But I didn't do that. I said, yeah, dude, that's awesome, man. Like, you know, you've always been a beast. You're such an animal. I love it. You know, glad to hear things are going well, but it doesn't surprise me. And, you know, we got to catch up one of these days, something like that. And he's like, yeah, so what are you doing now? And, of course, naturally, law of reciprocity,
promotion.
Somebody should ask you what you've been up to after you've just gone back and forth with them on what they've been up to, right? Mm-hmm. So he's like, oh, what have you been up to? I said, oh, you know, we have our business, and, you know, we actually are having more success we've ever had, and I mentioned the kind of money we're making. And he was like, wait, what? I was like, yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. We're doing it all on Facebook, too. It's just, you know, I've never seen duplication like this, growth like this. Like, I just spit out some numbers, and he was like, I need to know more. He started asking questions, and then all of a sudden, he became a prospect. But if I would have nonchalantly mentioned, which I do this all the time, and people aren't interested, I tell them what I'm doing, and they're like, oh, congrats, man, that's awesome.
See?
That person is not meant to be
interested.
prospected. That's when you do the indirect approach.
Okay, so now let's say we nonchalantly mentioned, right, product-business, and they didn't seem all that interested.
So then you could say,
but maybe we're not even sure. Like let's
yeah,
say
you're not sure. So here's the indirect approach. The indirect approach is, well, it sounds like you're doing really well, Sam. Glad to hear things are going well. Sounds like the family's good. Sounds like you got some great plans for the summer. Super duper. So listen, if you know anybody that would love to get in the best shape of their life, if you know anybody that would love to save money on ABC, right? If you know anybody that could use this product, whatever product you're in, whatever company you're in, if you know anybody that can benefit from this, let me know. I would love to help them. Now, here's what might happen. They might say, cool. You go, okay, cool. Thumbs up, out of there. On to the next conversation.
If it's cold fish, you let
It's obvious when someone is giving you one-word responses. They don't have a lot of interest. They're super happy with what they're doing.
Maybe they don't know you that well.
Just move on. Yeah.
Just move on because you know.
Because
what
remember,
it is.
they might see your videos.
They
might see your posts.
Exactly.
Now
so
watch.
They
might go, yeah, me. I would love to lose weight. I would love to make money. I would love to, have an amazing skincare product, right? Whatever. The point.
And
you need
can
to transition
now
into
have fun with it. You go, what?
You have
Hashtag
fun.
surprise.
Yes.
I had no idea. We want to remind you that it's not what you say, it's how you say it, right?
Yes.
Like it's about your tonality.
Yes.
It's about your enthusiasm, right?
That is the indirect approach based on them not seeming like they would be interested. It's just making little changes in your conversation, little tweaks in what you're doing so that you're setting yourself up for success. You want to raise curiosity versus raise resistance.